Welcome back, and joining us now on the show is Rajesh Agarwal. He's MD at Insecticides India Limited. Mr. Agarwal, hi, thank you so much for joining in. I mean, this is one sector that clearly has been growing, and agriculture has been in favor and conversation for some time now, especially as we look at that deal that India is doing with UK and Australia and, of course, US as well. But what is your sense on the numbers? Because we're looking at India's role rising within this segment. There are various reports also suggesting that the global numbers also would continue to gain up. There are various reports to that effect as well. But your sense on India's role within that?
There are two aspects. Actually, number one is the domestic aspect, because I believe that when in India more than 50% people are involved in agriculture, so there is a very good scope of expansion within the country, because the demand is rising as the awareness goes up, as the demand for food goes up, because the population is rising at such a scale. So with the awareness and the population, ultimately the demand for the all agri input is going to go up. Yes, India is one manufacturing country, because after China, India is the only solution which can provide the AIs to the world, which can provide the white labeling products to the world, and also take our brands to the international markets. All these FTAs and different agreements what India is going to sign with the other countries are going to give a big opportunity to all the manufacturers in India. It will take some time, because all the products have to get registered. So there might be certain registrations which are going on in these countries. They will get the immediate help. And for other companies, yes, there will be an opportunity to register from India. And when the people of those countries get the product tax-free or at the discounted tariffs, definitely will be very competitive supplier to those countries.
Mr. Agarwal, what is your sense, if you could help us with numbers really, on India market size when it comes to agrochemicals and the kind of growth that we are seeing here?
Indian market size has been little stagnant for last 2-3 years with a very minimal growth. So we believe that India domestic market size is roughly 40,000 crores, and the export is little more than this, which had crossed 50,000 crores at one point of time. But at this moment, people say that the market is somewhere around $9 billion. So it is poised to go to 10 billions, but it will take one more year, I believe, to touch that number.
How would you look at India's competitiveness when it comes to the global markets? How would you also look at rules and regulations, policies, that is, because that really tells you on where we would move on, how fast we will move from here?
India cooperates a lot if we have to do the registration for exports. So we get the export registrations very, very fast. But sometimes many countries ask for the domestic registration, and there is a lot of data generation. So we have to do a lot of data generation here in India. And then all the bioefficacy trials are to be conducted again into the countries where you wish to sell. So overall, that's a tedious policy, which from country to country, 1 year to 5, 6, 7 years time is required. So many things are in process for most of the companies which are into international business. So things are always under process, and we have to plan for at least a decade, even for the domestic markets as well as the international markets. So always the R&D teams, the development teams are on toes, and they are regularly working in the development of the new products, new solutions for the farmer around the world, I would say. So India is well prepared, because when it comes to synthesis, as I told you before, after China, India is today in the leading position. And India is one area where you can manufacture 12 months a year and fulfill the demand of the markets.
Well, that's interesting to know, because that really was my next question on when you look at the global markets changing, Indian markets as well changing as well. As you said, India seems to be responding quite well to it. We have a capacity where we can run it for 12 months too. So when it comes to investments or capex within the sector, has that seen a growth too?
Yes, 2 decades were very, very lull. From 1995 to 2015, I didn't see any investments coming in the business. But in this decade, all the leading companies in the country have invested into backward integration. Some companies are very aggressive. They're investing in R&D, in setting up the plants for backward and forward integration. Insecticides India is one of them, actually. So, yes, we see a lot of investment coming in that trade, and there is a good opportunity, both in the domestic markets as well as the international market.
Mr. Agarwal, I'll also come in on the tariff point. You did touch it briefly initially in the conversation, but do you see an impact of that one? And the second thing is about sustainability, because that really seems high on cards too.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, you have to continuously work on innovation. bring the newer solutions. There is pressure over certain generic products, and ultimately the generics will be moving out and the new generation products will be coming in. So farmer need one-shot solution, immediate solution. So these are the demands of the farmer today. The biological products are also coming in, but that market is very, very small. So ultimately it appears that the chemical market is only going to rule for a few years. But yes, the biologicals will also see their entry. So we are working in both the direction. Overall, the opportunity in front of the industry is very good. And I would say that the growth will go up. These rains were very, very erratic in the past 2 years. This year, we are seeing going through. So far, everything is positive. The rains are good. The reservoirs are full. So we are seeing the growth at the moment. If that momentum continues for next 2 months, then yes, there will be a big growth actually in first half of this year.
Okay, interesting. If the rain continues, everything goes well, then we could see good growth coming in. Thank you so much, Mr. Agarwal, as well as Manisha, for joining in with us for this conversation. We'll be keeping an eye out on the sector as well. But on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Habil Khurakiwala, who is the chairman at Walkhart, to discuss their exit from the US generic business and more about the company as well.